Hey guys, what's up? Just thought as my first YouTube video, I'd maybe do some F1 news. As you can see, we have the Ferraris, most of them from 2005 before, at Modena, which I will actually get to in a moment. So first news is Melbourne GP. They just signed a contract to extend it to at least 2020, which then or before then, they can also extend it further. They did this possibly in the hopes to get Daniel Ricciardo a pole position, standing on the top podium, as he did this year, but then he was disqualified from the race. So that's very unfortunate. But I'm happy that the first race will still be in Australia. That is always a great race to see. Just always happy to hear those the roar of the engines first. It's just great. We can all agree, probably the first race of the year is one of the best. So a quick review of the year so far, in my opinion. Couple things. First of all, Maldonado. Everyone's hating on him, but you probably still should, well, maybe you shouldn't, because he's still a good guy. He's pulled it together, this far at least. It was mostly in the beginning of the year where he was like flinging himself around the track, crashing into cars when there were no cars around, and otherwise destroying his car. And he's probably cost Lotus in excess, I'm just going to say $10 million, which I think is incredibly unfair. I don't see why Lotus accepted his payment to race with them next year. I don't see the point in that. That's just stupidity. I mean, unless he's paying around $20 million, he's probably already wasted that much this year anyway. So if he's paying more than that, okay, sure, I kind of get it. But if it's any less than that, it's stupid. You're losing money. Just get some new guy off. Take Susie. I mean, she's a good driver. Minus that engine failure that she had, but that's with the car, not her. So, from what we know, she's a great driver. I think they should, maybe one team at least hire her. So that's it. And honestly, I think many of you will agree with me. Kimi is not entirely ready for Ferrari. I mean, Ferrari's like that team where if you have multiple world championships and you're just a great driver overall and you've been racing for a long time, which don't get me wrong, Kimi is a great driver. I absolutely love him. But I don't see how he's not necessarily experienced enough. I think he has the experience. I think he needs to get a couple more titles. But I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed with his driving this year. Maybe if they go back to different cars, he'd be fine. But for now, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I think and then also this year with the Silverstone testing, there was that Jules Bianchi thing. That was just absolutely amazing. Where they put him in the Ferrari, he was the fastest. So, I don't know. I actually would not be surprised. Well, I would be slightly surprised, but if Ferrari just took Jules, which none of us are probably expecting, so let's just rule that out. But I think someone may take him off Marussia. I think that's the team he's on. Off Marussia, which none of us would be surprised, as I said. So, next slide. The Ferrari power unit, we all know it's been quite slow, but Alonso taking second place was just absolutely amazing. Just the speed, just a couple of those passes were amazing. That was just a great race in general to see my team, Red Bull, come up on first. The Honey Badger struck again. And it was nice to see kind of a mix-up of the teams on the podium. That was a very nice race. Just because not like some of these other races where it's like Mercedes, Williams, all Mercedes powered cars. These are like 3 cars that are powered by each company, each one of the engine companies, and it was just like it's a rainbow almost, if I may, of the cars and the engines, just to show how close they are. Because Alonso was defending from, I'm not sure who it was. It was one of the Mercedes for that a couple last laps. That was just absolutely amazing. Or it was vice versa. I don't know. I was too caught up in the moment with Ricardo in first. But just having Alonso second was absolutely amazing. And then just I would like to see that a lot more. Not necessarily Daniel Alonso Mercedes. I can't remember the other one. But just more, not one team dominating. Because even last year with Red Bull always finishing like top 3. No, Red Bull, actually last year was pretty good. But I like to see all the teams cycle through. I'd like to see Sauber going higher up and just other smaller teams winning a bit more, make it more competitive. Here's the current standings. As you can see, Nico's first, which is quite surprising because he only has 4 wins and Lewis has 5. But the reason for that is wins are first place. So the other races, Nico came second, which is just a slight difference. But then Hamilton crashed a couple races. And then I remember I was there for Canada. Lewis had a mechanical failure, and Nico, his curves failed. See, he didn't have that acceleration that all the other cars did. So then when we were walking over to the podium, I remember we got the news, because there were like TVs everywhere. If you've ever been to an F1 race, you would know. But it just so weird because we didn't hear anything. And then when we get there, we get to a TV, we walk about a mile, get to a TV, and then it shows this crash between Massa and I don't know who. But all I remember is just everyone just staring at there, hoping that they were okay, and thank God they were. And then I also remember going onto the track, there was a story that people were trying to get the parts of the carbon fiber from the crash, and then the firefighters were like keeping the crowd back with the fire extinguishers. It was very funny. So I just remember just me standing where my favorite drivers crossed the line and finished, with Red Bull third and first, which is just an absolutely amazing feeling, just standing there with my giant Red Bull flag. It's just the most amazing feeling in the world. If you've ever been to an F1 race, it's just great. So with the standings, as you can see, there's the first and second Mercedes, which there's the massive reason for, because in the beginning of the year, they had I'm trying to think what to call it. They had a massive kind of head start to everyone because they started 2 months before everyone in research. So their cars are just about 2 months ahead of everyone, so that's why you see about 2 months later, you see everyone kind of bunching up together. And one thing that I'm a bit disappointed about is that Daniel's so far behind Lewis. But hey, I can't complain. Red Bull's third. I'm happy that Alonso's fourth, because that kind of mixes it up. But I don't know. Still the Mercedes-powered cars. There's just the highest amount of top 5 cars are all Mercedes-powered. So Mercedes is a bit more heavily powered. The other stronger cars. But then Mercedes is always having those brake issues, which is kind of leveling the playing field, if I may. So that's because they have to brake early. So that's something. And then also in a few days, I'll be going on vacation to Europe, which, as you probably know, most of the F1 races take place there. So I'll be seeing the Ferrari factory, be taking a tour there. I'll see the, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'd be seeing that track. I'll just can't remember it right now. I think it's Madonna. Madonna? I don't know. It's not Madonna. I'll be posting pictures on Instagram on the main channel, F1_talk, and then I'll be posting YouTube videos of everything there. And we'll also be visiting the city of Monaco, where one of the most famous Grand Prix are held, and I may walk the track or drive the track. So can't wait for that. And then all I gotta say in the end is thank you to all you guys, gals, and F1 fans, F1 teams. We hit 150 the other day. It just been a great experience. So the reason I decided to go onto YouTube is to kind of add on. I mean, after all, it's called F1 Talk. So once in a while I'll be holding an F1 talk show almost, where you guys call in on Skype or something, and that's the way I will do it. Just thank you so much again, and goodbye for now.